You can hear me play.
Oh, look who's back in my office. Hello, Hollywood executives who are obviously watching and paying attention to this YouTube channel. And since you are, I'm gonna bring back a little video idea I did for you a while ago. And that is 5 web novels that I recommend for adaptation. Now, since I'm with Chaos 1 and all my ideas are like Midas's hand, touched with gold, it means that you will make a lot of money from this. And you can actually make some good stories. Because these are some good stories and I am recommending them because I am not wrong, I am always right. Now, if you've been in my channel before, you know the usual. The links to the said books are in the description below. So if you do want to check them out, you can find them there. So let's begin with our number 5 spot. Now, Hollywood. I know that you probably think that other than Star Wars and Star Trek, every other sci fi space opera will fail. Unless you're, adapting an anime. But let's not go there. But I recommend for you Flight of the Cosmic Phoenix. This is a story of galactic proportions. If you really, really love the space opera genre, this is one of those books that I'd highly recommend. It has amazing space battles. Your CGI guys will go nuts animating these. You can do them in live action, you can do them animated, it doesn't matter. As long as you pour a decent amount of money, it will look good. And also, it has fun characters and a fun story. Space opera, if you love it, I recommend this one heavily for you. And in our number 4 spot, I recommend another space opera. And if you can see my previous video, you'll know which one this is. It's Sentinel. You can see my review of it, and you can just tell how fun this one would be. This one could allow you to do something that you have never done in space operas. Having a non-human protagonist who doesn't look human. And yes, I know there's the fear of the furries, but hey, it's a great story, and regardless on if people the characters want to, the characters, it will be a fun story, and it will be a great story that I would greatly recommend you adapt. And for our third one, now, I know we've been in space for so long since this recommendation video started. And for that, I, your friend Red Chaos 1, trustworthy Red Chaos 1, recommend that we go into the fantasy genre. But not just any fantasy genre, the anime style fantasy genre. Yes, Netflix, I can already see you having an erection over there. This is your thing. And for that, I recommend Novus Magus, a story which is part of the Emperor of the Celestial Sun MEST saga. Well, that's a lot of words, but hey, it is a great story, and since I know you guys love series so much, it's a series with close to 5 books. So another one that I would highly recommend for adaptation. It's not just your generic fantasy anime with anime boys swinging their swords around and making bigatons and only attracting those people who want power levels. It's a great story, and it could look good amongst your new line of Western anime fantasies, anime style fantasy stories like Castlevania. But now you're probably thinking to yourself, you know, Red, maybe I'm into fantasy, but I'm not interested in those anime pretty boys who all look like they stepped out of a Korean boy band. Oh, fair to you? For that, I recommend the Blackgloom Bounty, a serious traditional high fantasy story. This book is amazing. If you're interested in making your classic Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings style story, this is the one for you. It isn't derivative of Lord of the Rings, so it's not a Lord of the Rings clone. It's its own property that can stand on its own. And if you're interested in just a classic high fantasy, this is the one for you. Now, we come to our final recommendation. And for that, we go back to space, we go back to our battleships, we go back to our hyperdrives, and it is First Contact. Another great story, and if you're really into mature audiences, like if you really want to make a story, sci-fi, for really mature audiences, and you really want to be taken seriously, I recommend this one for you. It has everything you need from your classic sci-fi, and it also goes further beyond it. Now, this is all I could recommend for you. I will do more in this series, but until then, Hollywood. Alright, I forgot. It's time for me to chill out for my own. Yes, I can see your eyes rolling. I can see you unable to believe what I'm doing, but hey, I'm desperate. People gotta read my book. I gotta eat too. So my book is called Phantom Ddraig. It's an action high fantasy and can be found on RoyalRoad, and you will find the link to the description below the links to these books. So until then, this is Red Chaos 1, signing off.